Good evening, Sean.
Hi, Dave. You okay?
I'm good. I'm nice and toasty by the fire, cold
Yeah.
outside, and it's
You've got a
time.
fire?
I've got a fire. Well, I've got a fire in Hearthstone. You
Is
already
that a
there?
tumbleweed over there?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. So yeah, I've wanted to, I guess, kind of. I played a bit of Hearthstone one week where you were away, I think, and on
Yes.
stream, and uh, failed spectacularly to improve my ranking on stream. And my friends have pretty much mocked me mercilessly about
Yeah.
that since then. So we're back to continue the mockery, but I
Have you only
thought,
played once?
no,
I feel
well,
like you played half it.
on stream,
Yeah.
I think I've only done the one.
Anyway,
I've done multiple streams of Slay the Spire.
oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Slay the Spire.
yeah. So yeah. So I mean, Hearthstone's a game I've played for a little while now. Some of my friends have played it for longer. But I've also dipped out of it lately as work's got a bit more intense. As shown by the fact that I didn't actually realize the latest set of Hearthstone came out like within the last week or so. It might have even been a couple of days ago. I don't know. I would have to Google it. I was aware a new set was coming out, and I've seen some of the spoilers and some of the discussion around the cards. But I really haven't been that engaged with it, except for the fact, and this was kind of what I was going to kind of push this stream towards, was that they'd released a new mode of Hearthstone. And I thought that might be a bit more interesting than showing you the main Hearthstone stuff because, you know, complex card games, digital card games, you know, they're nothing new to you, right? Like you understand what's going on.
I played Magic.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So, which is, I guess, it's not digital, but you know what I mean.
But well, I mean, you can play Magic on different digital formats now, can't you? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so the concept of a complex card game is not that different. And Hearthstone does some interesting things with the fact that it is digital, so you get a lot more kind of RNG based mechanics, which obviously in like cardboard is much harder to replicate. So some people like that about Hearthstone, some people really hate it. So, you know, especially in a competitive environment, it adds some interesting things going on there. But you know, so what I wanted to show you was the new mode, which is the auto chess kind of, or auto battler, depending on your preferred nomenclature. And so that's like, so Hearthstone, just for those of you who haven't seen, and maybe even Sean as well, this is like the main menu screen. I can do a bunch of different things here. Like I can open my card collection by going into my collection, and kind of these are the different kind of like books of cards that I have based on the classes in Hearthstone, which follow the World of Warcraft classes.
Yeah.
Along the top
That's
here.
a nice looking UI. I like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it really is no expense spared
game,
with Blizzard, right? Yeah, like the edges around the edges. It is a very pretty thing. Like so yeah. These are all the different classes, and then you have your decks and things like that, and you can see them here, and they kind of they filter through the collection. I imagine you and I could go really into some more depth than most people want. About how nice this system is and how it works, and maybe some of the weaker bits of the collection system as well. But because it's you know it's a fairly complex database, but kind of quite intuitive and quite interactive as well. And then you know, you get daily quests. Of course, you do. It's a Blizzard game, so you get like kind of quests there to produce.
Those
things.
are bars with numbers that are going up.
They are bars with numbers going up, and they're not going up as much as I'd like. But yes, you do, for playing different classes, you get different rewards, which are often they're often shinier things, right? Including the heroes themselves get shiny, but also you get shiny cards next.
Do you mean literally shinies, as in?
So the equivalent. Cards? Yeah, exactly. So what? Okay, right. So here's a normal claw. So here we go. So there's a normal claw, and if the shiny one, you can see the card is animated in the card art.
Okay, but there's no actual difference apart from that it's just
absolutely none. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So So there's a lot, like as with any Blizzard game or any card game, I suppose. Anyway, there's like levels of prestige and pimpness that you can.
Dave,
yeah.
What if I did not have enough time to put into these daily quests, and I wanted to instead spend my hard-earned cash on a foil card? Is that something I could do?
It is, funnily enough. See, however, you cannot buy singles, which is something obviously that you can in Magic the Gathering. But you can buy tons of packs. So there's an in-game currency called gold, which I have saved a little bit. Not as much as I should have before the new set coming out, but there we are. So I've got nearly 2,000 gold. So I can buy 18 packs, which would cost me about 17 of your Great British pounds.
Yeah,
give or take right here. So, yeah, you can drop money on this game if you want. I try and avoid. I pretty much don't. I only ever spend a little bit now and then when they do like big bumper deals.
Yeah.
But you can do that. And
is it free to play otherwise?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. To start with, obviously, you're going to really struggle against actual people with actual cards. But if you do your daily quests, a lot of which don't actually revolve around winning, then you will over time, you'll kind of get at least enough for one decent deck, by which time you can, move yourself up the rankings and gain more rewards. And it kind of snowballs, and if you care enough, you can build a collection. I mean, it takes time, but it's not hard if you enjoy playing the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what's here. So I've got a bunch of packs here that I haven't opened because I've just been a bit remiss. So
watch an animation of an opening of a
deck.
Let's see the loot box.
Okay,
the card pack.
Yeah. So this is so you drag it in here. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then it kind of explodes, and the explosion's different for each set. This is my card back that I've chosen, so you can choose a ton of different card backs. And you can see, hovering over them, what rarity they are.
What order you have. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, so do you get...
I know. Like, I can feel your kind of addictive buzz from even through the Discord ether. But so you get to pick, and you click it, it flips, and you see what it is. And so I know this is the rare. You're always guaranteed at least one rare. There's epic and legendary above that. So this is kind of your average pack. And some people click through these quickly so that they don't know which one's which or whatever. I'm sure everyone's got their old kind of own kind of ritual for it.
There's a real 3D-ness to it all.
Yes.
That I quite like.
Yeah. So, and they all go into your collection, and there's a whole crafting thing in your collection as well, where you get rid of additional cards to gain dust, to then craft other cards.
Yeah, okay.
So it's all a thing, and it's fine. And if you like this kind of thing, it's great. And it's it scratches an itch. There are loads of play modes too. That's kind of something I was going to talk about. So if you go into play, you can play against other players based on either your rank, which is ranked mode, or casual, which will just throw you against anyone who wants to play.
Yeah. This is kind of like almost like StarCraft 2 sort of setup.
Sure. It's a ladder system, right?
Okay.
And you can pick one of your decks, and you either have it's either wild or standard.
It's like just watching. I avoid Blizzard games because
they're just so gosh darn polished, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. But just looking at this polish and like, it's
tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of sounds as well. I play with the sound off most of the time, so you won't be hearing this either, Sean. But if you go back and watch the stream at all, like all the card sounds, like there's just a lot of extra work gone into it. Card animations are pretty legit too. So some of the cards that when you cast them, they have a big effect on the battlefield, and that's kind of cool too. So so that's one way of playing it, and it's kind of the main way. It's the competitive way and all that kind of stuff. You can do solo adventures, which are basically they're like they're single player experiences that are a lot like roguelikes, where you start with a bit like Slay the Spire in that sense. You start with a small deck and you run through various encounters, and you pick rewards and get better cards. and all this kind of stuff. So they've been doing this for quite a long time through different the different sets. Every set kind of normally has now a new solo experience. So the latest set hasn't come out with its experience yet, but the last one. So you can choose that and play through that as well. Tavern Brawl every week is like a new, weird, very odd way to play the game. Like, sometimes it's like playing only cards that cost 2 mana, or make a deck that's 3 cards big.
Kind of like the God, what's the shooter? Overwatch. The Overwatch had that, right? There's like a weird mode every week where you could only play one character, or
yes, exactly. And and kind of again, it's another way of getting free stuff. Like if you win one once during the Tavern Brawl, you get a free pack of the kind of base Hearthstone set. So I don't tend to do it more than once just to get that. But if you enjoy the Tavern Brawl, you can. And then lastly, these are 2 modes here. The arena is like drafting in Magic. Or I mean, it kind of is and isn't. It's an interesting. You're not really drafting a pack of cards like you are in a physical card game, but it's a close digital approximation of that. It costs gold or real money to enter a draft, and then you get prizes based on how well you do. And the one we're going to look at today, which is still, as they say, kind of in beta, but everyone's playing it and stuff like that, is the auto chess version of Hearthstone. Now, so I haven't played any other auto battler or auto chess games, so I don't know much to compare it. I don't have much to compare it to. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to try it. Really, is that I was like, okay, I've basically played the game, and so what this one does is, for those of you who don't know what auto chess games are or auto battlers are, you kind of go into a draft-esque situation, which I'll show you the Hearthstone version of in a moment, but I'll be on a clock, so I'll have to kind of describe it quite quickly. Where you recruit units, and then you steadily recruit better units as you go through. And then once the recruit phase is done, all your units will line up against the opponent's units, and they will fight. And you have absolutely no control over how they fight, with minor caveats about things like positioning and certain abilities. But it's not like tactical choosing of things fighting, which is what you usually expect with Magic or Hearthstone. Is like I get to choose when I attack with what. The computer controls all of that, and the AI handles it. And then you're back into recruiting, and if you lose a fight, you often take damage from a central health pool, so that eventually you'll be out of the game. Okay, straightforward setup. The thing with Hearthstone's one versus let's say Dota or League of Legends' own thing is that they're excuse me, the units are based on Hearthstone cards. So they haven't, as far as I'm aware, they haven't changed cards, but they might have done. I haven't looked into the card pool. I certainly recognize a bunch of cards from outside of the Battlegrounds mode, and they are exactly the same kind of thing. Like they're not different. So they've used existing Hearthstone mechanics to generate an auto chess game. So that's the gist. When I click on this, we'll have to wait for 7 other people. There's a new Hearthstone set out at the moment, so I don't know if this is going to fire as quickly as it might normally. But then I'm going to get the option to choose between a couple of heroes, so we'll kind of just jump in. This doesn't take that long. It's not like a big game stuff. So you can see. I don't really know what that bonus means, but we're just going to ignore it for a minute. So I've got a couple of first places. I've played some, and you get a rating for your Battlegrounds, of course, so that you're playing kind of hopefully people who have got roughly the same experiences. So we have to wait for presumably 7 other people to want to do this, but that's never been a problem in the past.
Cool.
Really been much.
So this whole thing started with a Dota 2 expansion, right?
Yes, it was I think it was a mod.
Yes, it was. Sorry, an expansion. A mod for a mod.
Yes.
A mod, like, like it's kind of weird how this whole thing works, right? Is that like Dota was a mod for Warcraft,
Yeah.
and then they're modding that. Anyway, I'll let you.
Okay, so yeah, I've got these 2 heroes to choose
good
from.
Lich King.
Yeah, I mean, he seems much. I mean, Ragnaros is pretty solid, but you know, you can't argue with the Lich King. So he's I've got to remember his power. I tend to prefer static powers because there's a chance I'll forget it. But
static powers like passives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one cost me a gold to activate, and at the start of next combat, I give my rightmost minion reborn. So that's also going to mean that I have to be aware of my minions' positioning on the board. So that's another thing I have to do. So. We're about to go into this tavern, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get 3 gold. Actually, yeah. So it shows you kind of where you are on this ladder.
So what do you mean where you are on this ladder? Is that the order of the draft or something?
No, that's the order of certainly the battles. Like as people lose HP, it's arbitrary at the moment, but as people lose HP, they will. Go up and down this.
Right.
So I basically choose one of these guys. I haven't got very long to do it. Demon's kind of a tribe worth maybe thinking about. So I pay my 3 gold to get this, and then I have to play him out in front of me like that. So he deals me a bit of damage, which is bad, but he's also very strong. So as an early minion, so I'm happy to do that. So then you go into a battle with someone. And this is the auto chess bit, and so I won that. So I deal 2 damage to my opponent based on the quality of my minions. So that minion was worth 1 star.
Who's your opponent at the top there? Like what?
So that was this guy down here, right? As Brown. So that was that opponent. So now he's dropped down to that because he's taken 2 damage.
Right.
Okay. So you shift through the 8 people in total who are here. You'll shift around based on, I don't really know the matchmaking system that well. I'm actually going to upgrade my tavern to tier 2 because I'm not that fussed about buying any of these minions just yet.
So what does that do?
So that means now, you see the 2 stars there at my tavern. I can now buy, it will now offer me tier 1 and tier 2.
Okay, so is this almost like turning RTS games into an incremental game?
Yeah, not too far off. Okay, this is good, right? So I've got a demon here. One of the big things about this game is about like synergies between tribes. So I've bought a demon, and there's 2 demons here. So I want to buy one of them, demon-related cards. So I'm going to buy.
Does that rely on you knowing Hearthstone?
Yeah, well, yeah, it relies on you knowing these cards.
Yeah. So, is it always Hearthstone or Warcraft stuff, or is there like other?
I'm just going to freeze. Oh no, shit! I pressed the wrong button. Okay, I should have frozen one of those. Anyway, is it always? What do you mean?
Is it just Warcraft? Like Hearthstone is in the world of Warcraft.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
As in, not the word of Warcraft, but the.
The lore and mythos.
The universe of Warcraft.
Yeah.
The Warcraft universe.
Yes, there you go. Okay. So, don't want it. So that kind of sucks. I could upgrade to level 3.
That's a nice Murloc picture. I like that.
Yeah. What am I going to do here?
It's like he wasn't expecting the photo to be taken.
I'm going to upgrade to tier 3 and then have a double buy next time round. And let's use my Lich King power to give this guy Reborn. I don't know if that's worth it. I haven't played the Lich King before, but my tavern's strong, but my minions aren't. So I might take a bit of tanking damage.
But that's like a balance thing, right?
Yeah.
So as you've teched up. Can you see what other people's tavern levels are?
Yes, I can. So actually, we're not doing too bad here. We will definitely win this fight by a long shot. So this guy's on tier 2. This guy's on tier 3. So it's, a big mix between 2s and 3s. But we're looking for demon synergies. So there's none there. So we get to refresh. We pay a gold to refresh these guys. That's a beast. I'm going to take this guy. So I already have one. But when you get 3 of a kind, it kind of upgrades them to gold minions. There we go.
Okay. So what, it turns them all 3 into 1 gold?
Yeah, 1 strong gold
And that's
minion.
better than having the 3 separate ones.
Yeah. So I can drop this guy here as well, because they can be on the boards. They don't have to be in your hand or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's annoying because he deals me 2 damage, but it's kind of worth it. And I've frozen them so that I will be able to buy the 3, because the 3 lets you do some pretty exciting things.
Okay.
So this guy's got way more stuff than me, which kind of sucks.
So you just random. So you're not sure how it picks who you fight against, or is it the person who's next up?
No,
below you?
It doesn't always seem to be that way. That I haven't worked out the matchmaking system. Someone out there probably knows much better than I. I don't really pay attention to who's winning out. To who I'm playing next, which I probably should. But I'm going to buy this guy. So that means it combines all these 3 to a gold. So then I get to play this gold. It deals me 2 damage again, which is not great. But it also gives me this discover a tier 4 minion. So I'm only at tier 3, so playing this means I get to get one of these guys.
Oh, so you get to get one above the...
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, unfortunately no demons, but this guy is really strong if you can increase him, so we're going to drop that.
So Simon has said that he didn't know a lot about the cards, so wasn't getting good combinations, but card placement seemed important
yes.
on the board?
Yes.
So how does that work?
Your minions will attack left to right, so you want your leftmost attacking first one. Oh, okay, so weird. We just someone must have quit or conceded or whatever. So left to right is how they attack, unless and they will attack at random unless there's someone with taunt in the way, in which case they have to attack the guy with taunt.
Yeah. So Nacho asks, do we play any physical or non-digital card games? Like, hell yes, we do.
Oh yeah.
A fair bit. Yeah. So Nacho plays Warhammer 40k.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I played Warhammer not 40k, but I've not ever played Warhammer 40k actually. Do you play? We've talked about this before, haven't we?
Me.
Tabletop.
Yeah.
Like miniatures.
Mini games or miniature games is something I did a lot when I was younger, but I've kind of been replaced for me by card games and or board games. So Magic I played a lot, and I also played I still play Netrunner and Arkham Horror LCG. The Arkham Horror LCG is the game I play the most, without a doubt. Physical card game. It's cooperative, so I really like that.
That's good. We've been playing. I've been playing like Pandemic Legacy. So we completed Pandemic Legacy 2 last weekend.
Nice.
We won.
Oh, very done. Nicely done.
We didn't get the best score, but we got a decent one.
Very cool.
Which is we tend to play co-op games too. Possibly because the main group I play with would get a bit nasty, which I do enjoy, but no, I don't. I kind of, I'd like to play some more like team games, so like 2v2 type stuff, but there's not that many of those style games.
Sure.
Like we used to play Magic 2v2.
That's what I would have picked.
But yeah. So what's going on, Dave?
Okay, sorry, yeah. So I picked up another gold thing and I upgraded my tavern because this would now give me a level 5 minion, which is nice. So, we're definitely getting a Void Lord. That guy's legit. So what we're kind of building towards, I suppose, is like actually getting some legitimate combos going. I quite like other demons have +1 attack. Reasonable. So we're definitely a demon deck at the moment. We've got this random Cave Hydra because it's quite good. But I'm going to freeze those minions. I'm going to give my rightmost minion Reborn. Giving it. That seems ridiculous if I can do that on the Void Lord. Basically the decks are going to get better and better and better and more ridiculous in terms of the synergies.
Is it luck then? So you're picking. Do you get? How does it work with the choices you get to pick from? Do you know?
Well, so yeah, that side of things, I suppose you could describe as luck. You know what you get offered and what you don't get offered. But
does everybody get offered the same?
No.
No. Okay.
They'll be offered the same tier of things at things, but
depending on when your thing, what level your thing is at, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it is all about what is it all about? It's all about like scaling. Like I'm gone. So we didn't do that well that time. I thought my demon deck was just about starting to come together, but
yeah. So I guess like what I was kind of getting at is trying to figure out in my head how you're interacting with the other players. In like obviously you're fighting them.
Yeah.
But like, how do you change up? Do you change your strategy based on what they're doing? Is that something you can do, or you're just kind of almost playing your own game?
Yeah. In that sense, I think if you're really good at this, you will keep track of who's doing well and with what deck, and if there are, or with what spread, and if there's there's a way of maybe making choices that make you better suited to. I haven't played Elise, so I don't know what a recruitment map is. So we're gonna have a look. That seems there's so. I think for me, once you're set on a path, there's so little room for wiggle in terms of like tactics and picking things. Maybe positioning of your minions will maybe make a difference if you know. But
so I know in auto chess it doesn't make a difference. I don't think positioning. I don't think positioning is important in the Dota auto chess.
Okay.
Simon has mentioned a crazy power shiny cube, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Ready to get started?
Yes, I do have a.
What's that?
So I'm just deciding which one to. We've done. This guy kind of.
I feel like Voidwalker.
Yeah, we've done demons though, so I kind of want to try something out.
Let's do the. So would you? Does it matter who you're like? I was about to say Planeswalker, but
your hero.
Who your hero is. Is that based like will there be a synergy between your hero and your deck?
Yeah, definitely. So the Lich King didn't really. This one doesn't look like it's going to, but some heroes definitely prefer or help with certain other tribes.
I've got some fresh recruits.
Okay, so I guess we probably buy this again. I think I'm gonna upgrade to tier 2. This guy's fine. But the thing I didn't show you is that you can sell minions back to the bartender, and you'll want to do that for your low level minions. So I'm just going to upgrade my tavern, and I get a tavern map, which is okay, cool. You discover it costs 3 gold. Okay, from tier 2, interesting. It gives you, I guess, so discover in Hearthstone means choose one of 3 that the game randomly generates for you.
Yeah.
So
what's this shiny cube?
So one of the big things I did in Magic was get to a point where I kind of like some people get to a point where you've got so many cards you stop caring about getting cards. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
This guy's great. So I had a lot of cards that I kind of didn't really care about acquiring cards too much. So what that meant was I could.
Are you talking about as in your collection, or as in a game you had a deck that meant you?
No, my collection. My collection just like I just bought too many cards, right? Like and they move on, and you have loads and loads of cards that aren't doing anything. So what a cube is you know how Magic the Gathering, in order to draft, you normally have to open packs.
Yeah.
A cube is a way of saying, well, actually, blimey, okay, that guy's got some beefy minions. It's basically saying, I don't need packs to draft. I can draft with this preset of cards, which is, let's say, 500 cards. I can draft with those.
As in with your cards that you
Yeah,
already own.
yeah, exactly. Oh god.
Doesn't that feel a bit like cheating though?
No. Guys are rubbish.
But how? What if you couldn't you just create a set of 500 cards and like, you know, have a good set?
Well, that's the whole point. So no, everybody. So you know when you sit down and draft and there's 8 of you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone's getting the same cards.
Oh, they're all from that.
Yes.
Oh, you bring, as in you don't actually buy the. You don't buy. No one has any packs.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh.
Everyone just like comes and plays with those cards. So
So you don't get the kind of that lovely opening the pack feel.
no, but you get that fun like so. You don't know, but you still get that. Oh, what am I going to get out of this 500 cards? Yeah. Okay.
I guess for us, it was very much part of it. It was the excitement. It was just constantly buying new stuff, and but we all kind of essentially built our collection through doing drafts.
Yes, which is fine. Yeah.
We had like 0. I think we bought like the starter set or something. Mm-hmm. There was like some, you could usually buy like a I'm new set.
Yeah.
And then
this is not going well either.
A fat pack.
Yeah. But as I said, I got to the point where drafting's fun, but drafting is about the deck building and stuff like that, and acquiring new cards loses its shine after.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, remember I was playing for Magic for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Our deck's not doing great here. So the shiny cube is all foil cards. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, we got lucky to draw that. So obviously they're rare, they're shiny, they're expensive, they're rare, blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a good pack. Okay, so definitely want. We want multiple things like this. I think we have to take this guy, so we can get a gold. Take this guy, and we magnetize. Does one to this guy? No, it's not that guy. Yeah. Magnetize onto that. Oh dear lord. Yeah, quick. Play this guy.
Come close.
This guy scales really well because he's kind of rubbish, but he will buff at the end of every turn in the tavern. He'll buff another minion.
Yeah.
Why
so
people
you've got a limited time to buy and sort your cards out. Is that
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
and actually, I should probably get this guy closer to the front. His position is interesting. Okay, that's unfortunate. So my cube's got some very expensive, very exciting cards to play with, but I haven't updated it in a while because you need to keep up with these things.
Yeah.
Good minions here.
I had a friend who rage quit a game of Magic once.
I know, you've told me that story. I'm afraid.
Grab from. I know. I've told you that story.
Yes, all right. There might be someone else who's interested.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly think.
No. He just picked up his coat and left.
Yeah, we've all been there.
No, I haven't. I did hear a story about someone who rage quit a game of Agricola. Just kind of flipped the board over type thing and walked out.
Okay, let's get this done. No, he doesn't want to be there. He wants to be there. He wants to be here-ish. Okay. Balls that. So, yeah. Yeah, see, people have him over there, which is totally the right call. Oh, right. So you see this guy who's here on the right? You should 100% be here on the left, like this guy's got him.
Okay, yeah, like the other, like your opponent has him.
Yeah. So we're definitely learning.
Is it just me, or it's one of those characters that like the painting off Ghostbusters?
This guy. Yeah, nice. I see what you did there. Oh man, we're taking a pasting here as well. Okay, so we learned a valuable lesson there. And we're going to move this guy over here.
So do you always have? You've got the same deck, so you don't lose them. Okay, right. Okay, so it's kind of. So you're kind of like almost testing your deck against other people.
Yeah.
And then updating that.
Yes.
As you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of interested. Did you play MOBAs?
No, that was a game. That was a format that I could really not get behind for some reason.
It's pretty hardcore, like, which is an understatement.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
My shield for
I might regret that decision. Right.
We must band together, united for Battlegrounds.
Okay. Yeah. I don't really like APM games. And I found the whole action thing with MOBAs where you had to click to get kills and stuff like that. I found that really unsatisfying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, we're getting housed. What's this guy's power?
Have you been using your power? Your
Yeah, so what happens when I upgrade my tavern is that I get a free kind of minion, but I have to discover it, and they haven't been great so far. So that hasn't been ideal. Okay, we want this guy because this guy gives my mechs, other mechs, 2. Do we want to find another one of them? I'm trying to get gold versions, so 3 of a kind. So we're looking for one of these guys or one of these guys in the next couple of rolls. Not there.
I'd like to know how like those minions are being randomized. Like,
well, badly right now as well.
Yeah.
Not fun times.
Because nothing's ever random. Like it won't be truly random.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like how are they doing?
Yeah. So I'm not doing a very good job of showing you how to win at auto chess, but in Hearthstone. But it kind of it's weird, isn't it? I mean, it's quite pandemonium. It's quite like pandemonium in some respects because obviously it just does its thing, and you don't have a lot of time to make decisions at certain points. But yeah,
the other people seem to have similar types of cards.
Yeah,
as you.
That's
so
it.
I feel like is there some similarity? Like, I feel like there's some, unless there's not that many cards. Is there some similarity?
You're right. You're right to spot it. It's more that the card pool's not enormous, but there are definitely. Ooh, we're hanging on there. There are definitely. There's definitely tactics, right, that make sense, that are better, right?
Yeah.
And God, finding one of these 2.
Do people tend to try and level up? So what's? I wonder, like,
pick up another one of these.
Thanks for joining us, Simon. I know your pain. I've got marking coming soon.
Fair enough. I don't want any of those either. It's not working out. Okay. I kind of do want this security rover. So I think we're going to have to bail on this, getting this guy gold. So then he buffs all thems, then we play this guy.
A good tactical choice.
Security rover is pretty solid.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
Okay. So yeah, it's not my favorite kind of gaming, this, because like this is the bit I'm more interested in some ways. But I can see why some people seem to like this, because I can kind of now just chill out and talk to you whilst the game does its thing, kind of thing. Okay, well that was enough to kill us. We were close to surviving there.
Yeah.
And as you get to learn the better combinations and the better like ways of scaling up into the game, like I could see it kind of being fun, but like for me it has quite, and I'm not saying this because I've just like been hammered twice, it doesn't quite have the same appeal as a card game, as a complex card game.
Yeah.
So that's an auto battler. Do you want to see it once more, or have you got a sense of it?
I think I've got a sense of how it goes. It's kind of I found it a bit hard to follow.
Not surprising, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's quite. I tend to find card games quite hard to follow. Like in or at least
to begin with,
I find maybe other people you like. I guess you do like. Because when you're playing, you play really quick. Like not you specifically, but like when I play Slay the Spire, I eventually the cards by kind of just a glance. Yeah. So you're like very much like that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So it can sometimes be hard to follow when you don't know that by a glance.
Yeah, that makes sense. So why don't I show you the roguelike version of Hearthstone, and that we can take at a much more sedate pace because there's no timer on that. And actually, I know I've got a friend who like the only engagement he has with Hearthstone is these solo adventures, because he plays, around his family, like when the kids are, I don't know, when he's waiting to do something with the kids or whatever, and that's
so he has to pause.
Yes, that's it. The whole point of being able to pause. Obviously, in an auto chess game, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So this is the latest one. I haven't really unlocked much of it. Obviously, there are like 4 different levels of it, and you start at level 1.
Is there a story?
A plague of murlocs are pouring forth from this ruined city. We need to get to the bottom of this.
How deep is the story? That's what I've seen, I guess.
So yeah, exactly. Like, so a plague of murlocs is let loose among the lost city, and we are going to deal with it as the League of Adventurers. So our adventurer is Reno. So you're not hearing any of this sound, Sean, but there's a lot of sound animations, sound being triggered here. So the people at home hopefully will be able to hear that. So yeah, this was Reno Jackson, quite like a quasi-famous thing in Hearthstone. At least he's been a card a couple of times. And you are rogue and mage class when you choose to be Reno. You have to unlock the others, and then you get a signature treasure, so we can have his lucky hat.
We definitely have the hat.
We definitely have that, not the lasso.
I feel okay.
Or his torch. I mean, his torch is less exciting, obviously, but it's probably a better card. But anyway,
I don't care.
I know. Yeah.
Magical. Hang on, it's a magical torch.
It is.
You didn't say that it's magical.
Oh, sorry.
Like,
yeah, it's not
That's very different to a torch. Like
touche.
My phone has a torch on it, but it doesn't have a magical torch.
Fair enough. But you're definitely thinking hat or lasso.
Yeah.
Hat. Okay.
Well, actually, let's. Did you pick hat?
I picked hat. Yeah. I thought we had to get on with it. Okay, and then you get to choose your hero power, which is damage or making your spells stronger. I think we're just going to choose damage because damage is good. And then you get to choose your deck. And I've unlocked one additional starting deck for Reno. You normally start off with the novice. And then you can see them along here. I don't like the Spell Seeker one as much, so we're going to go with the Novice Spell Slinger. So these are what you start with. If you want me to show them to you one by one and explain what they do, I can. But
don't worry. Well, you'll explain them when you're playing them.
Yeah, that's fine.
So do you have both of those unlocked the first time you play it?
Yeah,
Or-
you get
you always get a choice.
Yeah, you always get a choice between the treasures and the decks. But the decks you don't choose. You need to Sorry, you don't. If you meant, do you always have the two decks unlocked? No, you have to play enough to unlock the rest of the decks. So this is the enemy. It's 1 of 10, just to clear through this level. So so then you can see what they do, and you can see how much health they have, and all this kind of jazz before you go in. Often I forget to do that. So I'm kind of.
What do you do? What do you do with that information? If you
Well, the one thing you might do is because it's quite hard to see their power. In fact, you can't when you're mulliganing. So that's when it's useful, right? Like it's would this guy be useful versus what this guy can do, kind of thing. I quite like so this makes my spells cost 1 less while she's in play. This is a spell that adds 2 spells.
So okay, starting hand, you get to keep or replace a card.
You can change any of these.
Do you do that in Magic? Can you do that in Magic?
Well, no. So what you can't do in Magic is you can't keep cards. You have to keep your whole hand, or you mulligan down to 1 fewer. At least that was the way when I used to play Magic.
Yeah, that's the way I played it.
They've messed around with the mulligans and added scries and certain things to make it less painful. But like, I can get rid of this, or I can keep it. I can get rid of it. I can keep it, and so on and so forth. So you can keep any combination of these. I actually like the starting hand because you can go Apprentice into Razor Petal Volley into Mana Addict, and have like a lot of things going on. So I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the one caveat that you might have missed there that's going to show up is that Murlocs have invaded each deck. So occasionally it's just going to spawn a random Murloc.
Oh, cool. So it's kind of got this. So a random Murloc, as in.
I have no idea what it's going to be. Well, I have a feeling it's quite a small pool of the not very strong Murlocs tend to turn up. But we've got nothing to do on turn 1, so I'm going to end our turn.
So they are adding this kind of. There's variance adding here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like that's the thing about Hearthstone takes variance very seriously. In terms of its kind of mechanic.
What's going on the left? There's something happening on the left.
This.
No, on the far left, there's like a. Oh, that's just the cards. What is that?
So that's a tracker. So you can see what has happened in the game in the last couple of turns. So this is him playing this. This is the Murlocs invading the deck. I'm gonna kill this thing with my hero power. And then, as you can see, that tracks that action on the left there. Sometimes that's useful. It's it's not something you have to pay attention to.
Okay, can we, or could you talk about the UI here? Because like one thing we're currently working on with our next game is like how do we kind of communicate a lot of complicated things? And there's like lots of complicated things going on here, I would say.
Yeah.
And how do they manage it? Like, it's a very broad question, but like I don't know. Like what's happened? What are they doing well?
I think what they're managing quite well is what are they doing well? Right. A lot of actions feel quite sticky, like kind of or juicy, we might say. So just like running my mouse over my cards is I really like the feel of physical cards in my hand and flicking between them. I'm one of those kind of people. But this is as close as I've found a game gets. Like it's smoother, it's nicer than something like Slay the Spire, which does something quite similar. In terms of the boards, like this arrow, I think feels quite good. And then I can just and this is quite generous about what I have to do to make that happen. And it feels like I've just hit someone for 5 damage. And there are 3 different types of amount of noise that damage can produce. Right? So there's silence if it's 1 or 2 points of damage. There's a slight cheer if it's like over 4, I think. And then if it's up to 8 damage or more, the crowd goes wild, right? So it's kind of like, again, a little bit of player feedback there.
It's kind of reminding me of Peggle in a weird way.
Okay, I haven't
played
played.
Peggle?
No, I have not.
Okay. It's kind of like a, I don't know how do you describe what Peggle is. Oh man, how do you even describe Peggle? Wow.
I don't know, but I just missed lethal there for anyone who's tracking at home. How would you describe Peggle?
It's like you fire balls and then it hits pegs.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I don't know how to. Yeah, like it's the kind of game that as soon as you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it." But okay, so you defeated this.
I did defeat that enemy, so you get this kind of whole victory thing. I mean, like you say, from a games development point of view, it's almost the polish is sickening, right? Like it's like the amount of people's time and effort that have gone into that victory display. You know, is probably the same number of man hours that we're able to put into, I don't know, a major feature.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I get to choose a treasure, which changes my
Is that like your magical torch?
Yeah. Well, these are more like passive abilities that are going to stay with me through the whole run. So the magical torch / we went for the hat. That's a card that I can draw.
Okay.
But these are passive powers.
Okay.
So yeah, when I play a legendary minion, summon a copy of it. Well, we don't have any yet, but that doesn't mean we won't get any. This is block lethal damage and deal 20 damage to the enemy hero once per game. So that's like a kind of stop yourself from dying. And this gives all my minions permanent stealth. I mean, that's kind of bonkers. Stealth is strong. Once you've attacked, you're out of stealth. But a lot of like, let's go with the bulwark though. Let's stop us dying, seeing as we're on stream. And then we get to choose 3 cards to add to our deck, right?
Right. Okay. And how random is? Oh, interesting that they're themed. It's just to teach you how to build decks in a way.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, give you that encouragement of how thinking of how you're going to do things. So spell damage.
That's nice. That's a nice. Yeah. That's a thing you can't do with a card game. Like, you can't. That's something you would struggle to do. Well, do you get
you have
packs and like pre-made?
Yeah, pre-made packs, pre-made decks, that kind of thing makes sense. But yeah, I think you need to. I mean, even if you know what the hell you're doing, it's easy. It's just helpful to pass those before you look at the cards anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit of an affordance. Certainly for newer players, that makes sense too.
Fire mage, eh? Well, maybe I could show you some moves.
Come closer to the fire explorer.
Yeah. It's the thing that's even more sickening about all this is made in Unity.
Yeah. But I mean, just the attention to detail and the amount of artwork. It's just
it is, but it's just like a whole. The amount of resources they have is just nuts. Do you know, like StarCraft 2? I think it was $100 million or something like that. $200 million. Like, I mean, to be honest, once you get up to that, the difference between 100 and 200, like.
Fair.
Like,
Yeah.
Do I really understand that? No, probably not. But yeah, like it's just a huge. You just can't even. How many years they would be working on this as well. Like, yeah, I've never played it. Never downloaded it. I don't know. I think probably originally because I was like, well, I'd rather play a card game with actual cards.
Yeah.
That's why I've not really got into the only online kind of card game I got into was Magic the Gathering, which was before Hearthstone was out and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What was the first, like, this whole card game thing? When did it all start? Like, this online, like, is Hearthstone started it?
Sorry. Oh my god. Pay attention, Dave. That was brutal.
Oh.
Playing quality Hearthstone, everyone. Sorry, when did the whole digital card games?
Yeah. Was this the kind of thing that kicked it
I
all
don't
off?
know, actually. That's a very good question. Because like what you've just described, I was always into physical card games.
Mm-hmm.
So, can't turn down that too far. So I miss, like, Hearthstone was certainly the first time I thought, oh, that's gonna kind of maybe scratch the same itch I get from playing Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So. I could just let him kill me and then have my bulwark kill him, but I think that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, because but then hang on. Is that only once? Does that
Yeah.
mean
Well, no, I think it happens only once
per run?
per. I don't know about per run. I'm guessing it's
But then how can you lose?
because sometimes 20 damage isn't enough to kill the opponent.
Oh, I see. 20. Right. Okay.
So
yeah.
she might kill me this turn if she goes like nuts. Because her power is whenever she casts a spell, deal 2 damage to random enemies.
Yeah.
Shaping this little one.
It must be so difficult designing like a new card for a game like this. Like adding a new card. Like how do you like? Do you think they design one card at a time? Like, do you design a set of cards?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. But
you
I
would
mean,
have to.
It looks intimidating, but there's actually just a lot of parameters to how this works, right? Right, we're gonna see how this works when I die and if it kills her. Because, like, yes, there's a lot of monsters, or what they call minions, in Hearthstone, but, you know, they're kind of all working along the same lines. You know, like, there's a lot of variation on the same theme. You know, different numbers moving around, different abilities being present in some situations. Can we actually win without dying? Mana 4 damage? Yeah, that will do. So, you know, like... what I suppose you have to decide is like how many minions you want in a set, how many spells, how many weapons, and once you've kind of got a sense of what works within that set, like then you can start adding small amounts of variance and so on and so forth. But so yeah, don't get me wrong, it's complex as hell and it'll take a team of people months to do, but it's not as intimidating as it might initially look.
Yeah. In some ways, I want. Yeah, it's interesting. So we're thinking about like things like balancing and stuff, and a game like this, maybe it's much. I hate to use the word easy, but like it's easier to like because you've got that sense of this card does this many damage, it costs this much mana, it costs this much, it's worth this much gold. I don't know what's the number in the top left corner there. What are on these? I don't even know what these numbers are.
So that's mana on the top left. Bottom left is fight, and then bottom right is health.
Okay, fight is damage. How much damage?
Yeah.
So you've got this. Then you can put these on a graph, right? You can draw a graph and be like, this is the thing, and then you can put things above the line and give it an ability to kind of balance that, right? So like. If they've got that, that's like a little bit of extra power, so you make it more expensive or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas the stuff what we're trying to balance, like, there's this kind of added bit about like how easy is it to use, in terms of it, like how you're, which is really much harder to think about.
Yes,
I think maybe. It's like balancing weapons in like Circle 28, right?
Yes.
Are they like? Did we really think about that much? I think we just made a bunch of weapons and kind of like had a sense of what order they should be unlocked in, and that rather than trying to balance them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you're not doing a multiplayer game. You're not fighting each other, right?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I like if we decided that our weapons would have a variable I could really go off this turn, actually. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. If our weapons had a variable damage kind of thing, then then we would have had to have done something like that.
Yeah. So is this a game that requires your full attention as you're playing it, or are you kind of instinctively playing it? Like what?
I always wanted to say that.
If you're playing optimally, it definitely 100% takes all your attention. But if you're like me and like you're streaming and talking to you and talking about other stuff, you can definitely play, very loosey goosey.
Yeah.
Like when I care about my ranking and stuff like that, if I'm doing that, then I have to have a degree of a much bigger degree of concentration. But like we could still potentially lose this game, but I mean,
do you tend to keep up with is there a sense of a meta? And...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would show you that side of things. But they've just released a set, so I have absolutely no idea what's good anymore. I could show you the best deck of the last metagame, but I don't know what on earth people are playing right now, and maybe other people don't either because it's so new.
Something I've always kind of, maybe I'm wrong, but the way I always perceived Blizzard games is that, or at least when I played World of Warcraft, maybe it was the kind of people I played with. There was a sense of people okay, this is the best. This is the way we have to do this dungeon.
Yeah.
This is the way, which feels like it's against everything you learn about game design, right? Is that you want to avoid that.
I understand. I mean, with card games, what you often end up getting into a meta game is rock paper scissors, or a very complex approximation of rock paper scissors. But I suppose like what you were describing. I mean, like bosses in raids in WoW. There were a series of steps you had to get to in order to defeat that boss, and there were a series of things you needed to do to get through to those steps. I guess the variation comes in how you want to handle that. Now, I mean, God, I was the same. I remember when I was in my raiding days, watching videos that were tutorials on how most efficiently for the raid to defeat any given boss, and you would just learn that, right? You would learn what you had to do, and your role within that team that's doing that. But that's I mean, what is it? That famous
I'm always the Leroy Jenkins guy.
I bet you are. I bet you are. But I was going to say about every plan is perfect until contact with the enemy, right? People are fallible. People will forget what they need to do. People will stand in fire when they're not supposed to stand in fire. So, to me, they always had that angle to them. That it wasn't just about that they raid encounters weren't like chess in the sense that everything is always equal. Sorry, I just got this rush death rattle. Kind of interesting. So there comes a point a bit like in Auto Battler where you kind of need your deck to be a bit. Okay, well.
Recruit some help here.
Okay, this is the shop equivalent for the.
Okay,
yeah.
So did this come before Slay the Spire, or did Slay the Spire come before?
Which came first, Slay the Spire? I'm pretty sure. Probably Hearthstone solo games probably came first, but this idea, the shop, was relatively recently.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Feels like they've moved towards that.
The UI is the game.
Mm-hmm.
The UI is the playing the game. Like here for the shop.
Yeah. Yeah,
that is
it's
both,
the same
both
board as the game.
interesting and also like less work.
Yeah, for sure. It's
It's
definitely the
a-
kind of thing we would do.
Yes.
Any of these cards?
But you don't have to teach any more ways of interaction, you know. You just
I don't like all of these. So
That's a tough-looking crowd. Best of luck to you.
I'm going to take all the enemy minions and add them to our deck. Are we going to remove any of these cards? Oh yeah, we definitely will.
Well, you can't have too much of a good
You
thing.
can't have too much of a good thing. Very true, Bob.
Careful out there.
So yeah, like I definitely feel like they realized the whole Slay the Spire roguelike approach to card games and jumped on that bandwagon, and fair enough, you know.
yeah.
It's still not in that way. I find this far less satisfying than Slay the Spire. But
Evil, eh? I hate
I think that might also be.
Not doing this.
It might also be because I know I can play Hearthstone in a different way against like real opponents.
Do you end up playing more Hearthstone? What?
No, that I don't end up playing this mode.
Oh,
of Hearthstone,
okay, right. This I see. Okay, right.
even though
Specifically
it is a bit more relaxed and I can talk and do other.
But then I
things
feel
whilst
like it's not the point. Like I get you say. Sorry, that was wrong of me almost to say. Is that it's not the point of the game. Like the game is made for multiplayer, really, isn't it? But it's good
Initially,
for, like
yeah.
you said, your friend who has kids and can't. That's great.
Yes.
And not just that, some people don't want to play against other. Like I know,
Yes.
like I tend to. I always like playing against human opponents. Generally, like I'm like with RTS, I'm always the ones my friends tend to want to do like comp stomps, but I would always be up for like playing against people. Like, I'd rather just play against someone.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, but I mean, there's some problems with that though, isn't it? Because if your abilities aren't balanced with the person you're playing against,
Yes.
that can get old.
Which is why like games with ladder-based systems can often, you know,
Yeah.
can often be good, right?
Yeah. What's that? Is this a Murloc turning up or something?
Yeah, I think because a certain number of Murlocs have turned up now that he just jumps in there and does his little thing.
Yeah.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Another ball.
So yeah, there we go. This is kind of two different modes of Hearthstone. Yeah. It's like you say, it's Blizzard levels of polish on a pretty recognizable format.
Yeah. What's like the options for like private multiplayer? Can you just play each other?
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I did have a friend online who was online earlier. I haven't got many friends on here, to be honest. But I did have a friend on here earlier that you can.
You're just showing everyone.
I know. I did think that. But this must happen all the time, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? Message them on
Add them.
after? Yeah, but they could always just decline.
Yeah.
And actually, Hearthstone is kind of interesting because every now and again there's a daily quest that's either spectate of a friend or challenge a friend to play a game, and
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, and the rewards are really good. But if you don't have
Yeah.
many friends who are on at the same time,
Yeah. But that's kind of like
yeah, it's trying to get them.
that's actually it's trying to get you to encourage to get your friends
yes,
to play.
it's very
But,
nefarious.
It's kind of nefarious, but also it's actually nice because like there's so many games where playing private matches you don't get the same rewards, and like actually that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Dailies and what do you think? Oh man, I've never really got into. I've never ever logged in to a game to do a daily.
do
Like
dailies.
I will do it. Like if I just like I play at my own.
You play by your own rules.
No, I play. It's my decision to play a game. I'm going to play a game. Yeah, I don't know, but it's not. Yeah, but I it's nice to have a thing to come open a game and have a list of things right to do.
Yeah. What?
And you know what it is? What it is actually. This is an interesting point. we should think about, I think, for making a home possibly is this idea of a your garden. So it's like, or kind of a warm, having a game that has a real, like there's a mode that's a really low barrier to entry. So like you open the game up and there's something to do. So it's like I open the game up and I've got my daily sitting there. I can just do it. And like it was the not Stardew Valley, but the Slime Rancher developer was talking about this idea about like trying to minimize that kind of like opening it up to having something that's relaxing and nice.
Yeah.
And that will get people to keep coming back and playing.
Sure.
So like for me, like why like I still play Cycle 28. Like I still play it because it is something that is easy to pick up and just play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I load it, I click start, I do. That's one that, like, obviously we develop it, but I always post a monthly score.
You do, yeah. You're very good.
That's the one thing, and because I enjoy it. But it's that sort of thing. Like try and think of the equivalent of that. What's something that?
Yeah.
It's really quick for you to open up and like just play and chill out, you know. Yeah. Maybe not every game needs to have that, but I just like as a way of keeping people
engaged and interested.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I think probably because we don't have a leaderboard. I mean, we may end up. Yeah, that's brutal. What am I trying to say? We might have a leaderboard on times, but I think the daily thing, it's just so insidious and risky. Like,
yeah. Well, no, I don't mean that at all. Like, I don't mean I wouldn't want to do the daily thing. I mean, the dailies is, I would say, a very Blizzard way of doing it, which is like on that very fine line between ethical and unethical game design.
Yeah.
And whereas the Stardew, the like more like the Stardew Valley thing. So like, let's say Stardew Valley, right? Is that it's really easy. Like, you can just pick it up, water your plants, like go brew some beer, go into the town, do your errands, come back, go to sleep, done. Right? It's very much, it lends itself to that. It's not like I have to do these things. It's not like I'm making you. It's not the game pulling you in. It's like you're going to it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a really low barrier to entry. Like to just, you know, that's something you can. Like for example, I love Homeworld, and like I really enjoy playing Homeworld for stream, and I've been thinking a lot about like I actually really want to play some more Homeworld, but it's not something I can come home from work. Like we're gonna play Sins of Solar Empire next week, I think.
Yeah.
And so like today, I came home from work. I'm really tired. I couldn't play it. Like I started playing, I'm like, this requires too much from me.
Right.
So those games don't work like that. But like, can you have that little garden, that kind of like, I don't know. I need to rewatch and see how the guy used to describe this term, but that happy warm coat, like for me at the moment it's watching a cocktail tutorial. Like that's what I do. Like I'm like, I'm gonna watch, like there's a guy I follow and he posts one every day, and that's really nice, and they're like 10 minutes, and it's like, that's how, it's not that I feel like I have to, and if I don't do it I'm gonna miss it, but it's like a nice easy thing I can do that's just a relax and just so how do you like that? So maybe thinking about
how you add that kind of element to
that or make it so you've got this easy kind of easy fun, like this really easy way of just going in and having some fun really quickly.
Maybe like at some point you could unlock a single leg mode where like you get a finite number of, or randomized number of panels available.
It'd be interesting. Actually, do you know what? That's not a bad idea. Like almost like a daily. Like we could do it so that you get a daily set of panels, and how quickly can you do this? and that's or probably weekly, right? Or weekly or daily is like you build the best vehicle you can with these panels and this much money. And the leaderboard is how quickly you get to the end of this big run.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Welcome to the
I hadn't thought about it like that way, but that's you could definitely set up kind of a weekly challenge mode.
Yeah.
But also if even if you didn't want it to feel like quite as competitive, you could it's more like, I suppose, a play sandboxy type mode of like you got one run, and you get to see what you can do with this set in this particular. But I really like what you said, which is a better idea, I think.
You should write that down somewhere.
Yeah.
So how are we going?
Like a Trello board.
If only we had a Trello board where we had a list of things.
Oh, jeez, that was a bad idea. How's it going? Did you ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad. I did just draw my opponent a bunch of cards, which turned into Murlocs. Slightly unfortunate.
Yeah. I feel like you were trying to close, and then I ended up talking about Happy Gardens.
Yeah. No, Happy Gardens is good. Happy Gardens is good. But yeah, so here's Hearthstone. If you're into digital or complex card games, you can do worse. Some people will argue you can do better, and that's fine.
That's a back of the box quote. You can do worse. If you like card games, there are worse ones out there.
If you like this kind of thing, there's worse versions of it. But no, seriously, it's I've got friends who are really anti-Blizzard, and I can totally see why. But this is not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, you're really.
It's kept my interest for a very long time, longer than it probably should have.
Yeah. But that's what everyone always says about Blizzard games.
Yes,
that's the
true.
problem, isn't it?
That is the
There's
problem.
always that longer than it should. That's the, and that's why I kind of. It's weird. It's because I get it.
Yeah.
And I like Overwatch, and I wish that more of my friends played Overwatch, and I would play Overwatch.
Okay.
And I like the look of this, and it's like just because even just the crisp flipping graphics.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Like it's just that nice. Like there's not the game's just. I don't know what it is. It's like MSG, right? It's just like something there, but you never end up feeling like you spend time doing these games. I feel like there's always that niggling regret.
What that you should?
I don't get with other games. Like I don't know what. I don't know. Is that unfair?
No. That's totally fair. Wow, that was a good draw.
Like Diablo, I really enjoy it when I'm playing it, and I like the parkour mechanics and like everything. But then at some point, it'll get to the point where I'm like, I'm grinding, and I don't feel good about this.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it anyway because it's comfortable, and it.
I think for me, the good thing about grinding in a card game is that I get to play cards. Like I think, I just like playing cards.
Yeah.
But whilst I did like playing WoW and stuff, the grind on that was just, I was not enjoying every minute of that. Like I was actively not enjoying hours, but feeling like I had to do it, like my dailies or whatever, like the same quest for the the 100th time. That's not fun.
No.
So
Do you hear its call?
this is just better that way, I think, for me. Not for everyone, but for me.
Yeah. Any other similar mobile games you know of?
Mobile games were similar to Hearthstone.
Yeah, because it's shiny. Simon's right about the colours, and there's something about it's the art, all that effort that goes in.
Just play Hearthstone on your mobile.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay.
I think, but are there any similar games?
Oh wow!
I'm not a big mobile gamer.
No, me neither. I mean, there will be definitely other mobile card games, whether or not they'll be as good or as deep, I can't really speak to. My
Did
guess
you look
is
at
probably
Artifact?
no, because like everything I'd heard about that was a complete joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So Artifact is the Valve's attempt at this, right? With Dota.
winning.
What the other? What? I'm trying to think of other card games. There's
Well,
probably lots of really good, like just board game ports, right?
Yes,
Like,
yeah, like Dominion.
yeah, God, yeah. So it's Dominion. You can get Dominion on mobile.
Yeah, well, you can get on tablet, and so it's on the Android. I don't know if it, or it's on Android or Apple Store, but I don't know if it's mobile. And I know people have played it on tablet and stuff.
Yeah. Slay the Spire. Like, is that on mobile? Probably not.
I don't think so. Yeah.
You should definitely. But if you, I don't know, Simon, if you haven't played Slay the Spire, like, I would strongly recommend that.
Oh yeah.
The other thing is, I don't know if you're a PC gamer, but if you are, then using Steam, you can actually stream to most mobile devices now. So you can essentially turn any PC card game into a mobile game. And I think you could possibly do that over the internet. But like, there's like obviously that might not always work.
No.
No. Yeah, you play Slay the Spire on your Switch, don't you?
I do, which is kind of like mobile gaming, right?
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, I do love.
It turns out it comes out of that dock.
Yeah,
like
it does. Yeah,
it
does. You don't have to use a Pro controller.
I pretty much always just take it out of my dock, put it in my suitcase if I go anywhere for more than a day.
Yeah.
And then I take it out of my suitcase when I get home without playing on it and put it back in the dock. Apart from there was one back when we launched Cycle 28. Like, I don't know if you remember. Like, we launched it and I went away for a week.
Yes, yeah.
I played the entire of SteamWorld Dig 2.
Nice.
And that's the first time I've done. Like, I think that was a particular time in my life where that was like I think we both needed that, right? Like,
yes. Yeah.
There was a time of like, you just need that break, and yeah.
Yeah, fair dues.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so there's Hearthstone, there's Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and an auto chess game. I don't think either of us are going to become big auto chess gamers, but yeah, you can see why every now and again I'm playing Hearthstone when I should be doing something else. So, thanks, Sean, for stopping by. Thanks, everyone, for chatting in the chat. Where can people find us, Sean?
You can check out all our stuff at pillbug.zone, and you should click the happy internet buttons wherever you happen to be.
The internet buttons. Okay, so next week,
Thanks, everybody.
Just quickly before we go, Sean, next week, is it going to be that game I forget the name of?
We are going to play Sins of a Solar Empire.
Boom. Rolls off the tongue.
And we're going to play it multiplayer together.
We are. Yeah.
And we're both going to be like...
really bad at it?
Yeah. I haven't played it in a while. But it's kind of like in between Homeworld and Stellaris.
Excellent.
Nice. It's a cool game. It's good. Oh, 2012. Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
Yep.
Catch you later.
Cool. See you later, everyone.